Welcome back to our channel, guys. Today is Thursday, a beautiful day outside, but inside the world of Genoa City, it is an absolute thunderstorm of drama. We have been staring at our screens for hours trying to process this, and honestly, we need to vent. Let's just dive right into the absolute mess that is the Newman and Abbott families right now. So let's just talk about Crimson Lights for a second. Victoria Newman has been going through absolute hell lately. Her brother Nick is missing. He is presumably snatched up by Matt Clark, or lost in a drug-fueled fentanyl haze over in Las Vegas. We saw him pass out on the floor, and Adam and Chelsea are panicking. The pressure on Victoria is crushing her. She is trying to hold the company together, while Victor is distracted by his AI forgery plots against Phyllis. And who happens to be there to catch her when she falls? Kyle Abbott. Of course, it's Kyle. He just swoops in right when she is at her most vulnerable state. She's crying. She's terrified for Nick. And Kyle just immediately pulls her into this deep emotional hug. And it's not just a friendly pat on the back, you guys. It is one of those lingering heavy hugs where the rest of the coffee house just fades away into the background. They pull apart and they look into each other's eyes. You could cut the tension with a knife. The vibe was just screaming romance, which is honestly so messed up when you think about it. But wait, did they actually kiss right then and there? The show teased us so hard with that near kiss. It was clunky, it was uncomfortable, but you just knew it was coming. And honestly, what is Victoria thinking? I mean, maybe I'm being too harsh on her because she is terrified for Nick. Okay, that sounded dramatic, but you get what I mean. Her mother Nikki is dealing with a massive health crisis, maybe a brain tumor or severe MS complications, and Victor is being Victor. So Victoria is incredibly stressed out. But Kyle? Really? Jack Abbott's son? The guy who used to be married to her own niece Summer? It's just so messy. But they had that moment, that spark, and you just knew it wasn't going to stop at a hug in a coffee shop. The writers have been planting these little seeds for weeks now, making them cross paths, having Kyle play the supportive shoulder to cry on. And it's like, who actually believes this is going to end well? Nobody, literally nobody on social media is rooting for this pairing. We all knew it was going to blow up in their faces. And boy did it ever. So then we get to the big company event. A classic Genoa City gala where everyone is dressed to the nines and pretending they don't all hate each other's guts. And this is where the bomb drops. Claire, sweet, fragile Claire, who has finally found some stability with the Newman family after all that horrific trauma with Aunt Jordan. She is just walking around, probably looking for Kyle, her boyfriend, hoping to share a sweet moment. And what does she find? She catches Kyle and Victoria locking lips. A full-on, undeniable kiss. Her mother, her boyfriend, just making out like teenagers at a corporate event. Can you even imagine the absolute horror? Claire just froze. You could see her heart literally shatter into a million pieces right there on the screen. It was devastating to watch. And let's just zoom out and talk about the bigger pattern here for a minute. Victoria always does this. She always sabotages her own life with these disastrous romantic choices. Ashland, Locke, JT, Hellstrom, the list goes on and on. And now Kyle Abbott? It fits the show's usual style to have Victoria make a mess of her personal life. But doing it with her own daughter's boyfriend? That feels different. That feels so much colder and more calculated. And Kyle. What a massive hypocrite. He parades around acting like he is the moral center of the Abbott family. Judging Jack for his weird dynamic with Patty Williams. Judging Diane for her past fake death. But here he is, macking on his girlfriend's mother. Maybe he is doing it to get back at Victor for the whole kidnapping Jack on a yacht thing? If this is a revenge plot, it is the sickest one yet. It makes you want to throw something heavy at the TV. It really does. So Claire sees this, and she doesn't just quietly walk away and cry in a bathroom stall. Oh no, she snaps. And honestly, good for her. We get to this massive Newman family party later on. Everyone is there. Victor, Nikki, Jack, Summer. The champagne is flowing. The music is playing. And Claire just marches right into the middle of the room and blows the whole thing up. She publicly confronts Kyle and Victoria, right in front of God and Victor Newman and everyone else. She points the finger. Her voice is shaking, but she is loud. And she exposes their betrayal for the entire room to hear. The gasps. The sheer shock on everyone's faces. It was soap opera gold, but it was also so incredibly painful to watch her go through that. Claire just unloads on them completely. She breaks up with Kyle right then and there. A furious, tear-filled, very public breakup. She calls him out for his lies. She calls Victoria out for betraying her own flesh and blood. And you can see Victoria trying to do damage control, trying to shush her, trying to say please, let's talk about this in private. But Claire is having none of it. She wanted them to burn, and she lit the match herself. It was a clunky, chaotic scene. People were talking over each other, but it felt so real, like a real family actually falling apart in real time right in front of our eyes. But the aftermath. Oh, the aftermath is where it gets really dark and scary, because Claire is not okay. This isn't just a normal breakup for her. You have to remember Claire's history. She was brainwashed. She was abused. She was manipulated her entire life before she found the Newmans. Finding Kyle and finding her place in this family was her anchor to reality. And now that anchor is just gone, smashed to pieces by the two people she trusted most. So Claire goes into this deep, deep mental breakdown. She starts doubting her own self-worth. She starts spiraling out of control, thinking she is unlovable, thinking she is cursed to always be betrayed. And fans on social media are genuinely worried for her right now. We are watching her risk a total relapse into her past psychological issues. She might seek false comfort in the wrong places. Maybe she turns to someone toxic. Or maybe she just completely shuts down and isolates herself. The writers really pushed her to the edge here. It is heartbreaking because she worked so hard to get better. She went through all that therapy. She built these beautiful bridges with Victoria and Victor. And now her own mother is the one who pushed her back into the abyss. How do you ever forgive that? How does a mother-daughter relationship ever recover from something so deeply twisted? Meanwhile, let's talk about Victor Newman. The mustache is absolutely livid. I mean, furious doesn't even begin to cover it. He is pacing around the ranch like a caged lion, yelling at Victoria for damaging the family reputation. Because to Victor, it is always about the reputation, right? He doesn't even care that much about Claire's broken heart in that moment. He cares that this happened at a public event. He cares that the Abbotts are involved and making his family look weak. He looks at Victoria like she has lost her mind entirely. And honestly, she kind of has. Victor is screaming. Victoria is crying and trying to justify her actions. And Nikki is just stuck in the middle of this nightmare. Poor Nikki. She is dealing with her own terrifying health crisis. Her vision is failing. She might have a brain tumor or something worse. And now she has to play peacemaker in this explosive family feud. She is trying to calm Victor down, trying to comfort Claire, trying to understand what the hell Victoria was thinking. It is too much for Nikki to handle. You can see the physical stress just wearing her down on screen. She wants her family to be united, but instead, they are ripping each other's throats out. And Nikki is just standing there, trying to hold the pieces together with her bare hands while her own health is failing. And over at the Abbott mansion, things are not any better. Jack Abbott is so disappointed in Kyle. Jack has made his own share of mistakes, obviously. We all know about his messy history with Patty Williams and Diane and all that chaos. But Jack looks at Kyle and just sees a selfish, reckless kid who blew up a good thing for no reason. Summer is also furious. Summer used to be married to Kyle. And even though they have their own drama, she actually liked Claire. Summer questions Kyle's loyalty. She questions his judgment. She looks at him like she doesn't even know who he is anymore. Kyle is facing total alienation right now. His family is disgusted with him. The Newmans want his head on a silver platter. He thought he was so smart, so smooth. Maybe using this romance with Victoria as some weird revenge plot against Victor for putting Jack in danger with Dr. Markham. But using Claire as collateral damage? That is just cruel. It backfired spectacularly. Now Kyle is just alone. He is facing the cold shoulder from everyone he cares about in Genoa City. He is regretting his terrible decisions, but it is way too late for apologies. The damage is done. The bridge is burned, blown up, and the ashes are scattered to the wind. The tension between the Newman and Abbott families is now at an all-time high. It is a full-blown war again. Victor wants to crush Kyle and make him pay. Jack wants to protect his son but is also deeply disgusted by him. And right in the middle of this war zone is Claire. Sweet, broken Claire. She decides she just can't take it anymore. She can't look at Victoria. She can't look at Kyle. The whispers, the pitying looks from everyone in Genoa City. It is suffocating her. So she makes a massive decision. Claire decides to leave Genoa City for a while. She packs her bags. leaving behind the shattered pieces of her love and this ultimate betrayal. It is a tragic exit for a character who deserved so much better. And honestly, we are just sitting here wondering, what were they thinking? Who actually believes this is going to end well? No one. Just no one.